Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Now today we have a puzzle that keeps being recommended to us. I think we've had about 11 different recommendations to do this puzzle on the channel, and it's by the brilliant constructor Gliperal. Gliperal is a constructor I have the most tremendous respect for, because one of the puzzles I did by him was incredibly clever, and I think Mark tried a puzzle by him that was it was arranged in the shape of a cube or something as well. So Gliperal is sort of off the charts brilliant, but he submitted a puzzle to us a couple of weeks ago that has laid waste to our testers. No one can do it at all, so I'm hoping this one is not, well, it's not going to be as difficult as that one. The rating on Logic Masters Germany suggests this one is approachable. 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so I'm hoping that we will be able to get through it in some sort of decent fashion. Now, a quick mention before we start. Oh, let's get rid of that message, whatever that means. We've released more content on Patreon yesterday. The video solve of January's monthly bonus puzzle is live, so do check that out. And of course, there's also Reverend's awesome puzzle hunt over there too. Now, actually, the other thing to mention is we have several updates to our suite of apps that are on the way. Lots of new puzzles coming out on a variety of the different apps. And I just want to get your opinion as well. I think we've done so many incredible arrow Sudokus recently that I'm basically minded that that should be the next app that we try and make. So if you have a strong opinion either way, do let us know. Now, what are the rules of Gliperal's puzzle? We have got normal Sudoku rules apply. We have got cells separated by a knight's move in chess cannot contain the same digit. So that's an old favourite. Clues outside the grid give the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal, and digits can repeat along these diagonals. Yes, okay, so we've got 2 clues outside the grid. So that's telling us these cells here have got to sum up to 14. And we can repeat digits. So, I mean, if this was a 3, you know, this could be a 3. What you can't do is, obviously, those 2 squares can't be a 3. That's not going to obey the normal rules of Sudoku. But otherwise, you can absolutely repeat digits along these diagonals, and along thermometers, digits must increase from the bulb end. So what that means is, let's imagine that square was a 5. This square would have to be higher than 5. It doesn't have to be 6. It could be 7, and this could be 9, and that would be a totally valid way of arranging the thermometer. So do have a go. The way to play, of course, is to click the link under the video. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, even with the knight's move constraint, I am very sceptical that these thermometers can do anything at the start. Let me just have a quick stare at this. I mean, this cell is immediately interesting because, obviously, whatever's in this cell can't go in those 2 squares because these have to be higher than the bulb. They can't go in those squares, and this... Yeah, so there's an interesting thing here. This square maps onto one of those 2 squares, which means in box 6 we could rule out all of those squares. There's certainly, I can certainly see there's coordination between these bulbs, but I can't see how that's ever going to give us a digit. So I think I'm going to look at the little killer clues. We've got 14. Let's look at that one. So we've got 7 cells there. So they do have a very low average. The average size is 2. It's quite, well, obviously no cell along a diagonal. I mean, this is a bishop's move that we're looking at here. So the knight's move constraint is not going to help us to, you know, if this square is, I don't know, a 2, it doesn't prevent this square from being a 2 because of the knight's move constraint. So I don't think we can do anything with that on its own either. Let's look at the other one. Let's look at them together maybe. That's often the trick with little killer clues. 2, 3, 4. So this has also got an average of 2. There are 8 cells on the 16 diagonal. Highlight these for a second. Let me have a look at this. So we've got, the thing I'm looking at, by the way, is I can see that by considering the diagonals together, I've got 3 cells in the same box 3 times down this diagonal. So these orange cells, as they've now become, can't be the same digit. So the minimum I could make these orange cells add up to would be 18, because if I put actually let me show you, if I put 1, 2 and 3 into each of these squares, that's giving 6 from each box. That's 3 lots of 6 is 18. But we've got to get to 30. Oh, right, yeah, okay. This is very clever. Right, so now look at the purples. Oh, in fact, I've now sort of messed that up by getting rid of... Let me turn those actually orange, and then we can look at the purple. Now, if we look at these purple squares, there is something interesting in relation to the knight's move about them. So the question we should ask is, can these squares be the same? Well, no, they're in the same box of the Sudoku. There's a knowledge bomb from cracking the cryptic. Now, can either of these squares be the same as this square? No, because of the knight's move. This is a knight's move apart. This is a knight's move apart. Knight's move apart, knight's move apart. So we now actually know that these purple cells all have to be different. So what's the minimum I could make these 3 squares? Well, it's going to be another set of the digits 1, 2 and 3. This is the same, another set of the digits 1, 2 and 3. And now I've got 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. And 5 6s are 30. And that is exactly right for the diagonal. That's really lovely. That's really lovely. Now, maybe I get rid of the colours now. Do I need the colours? I might need the colours, but I'm actually thinking I might need the colours in a different way. Because what I can do now... Yeah, okay. I'm going to look at the central box and I'm going to colour these cells in. We're going to have a colouring day today. I'll use that one green, I'll make that one red. So now I'm immediately looking at this cell. This cell cannot be green and it cannot be purple, so it must be red. This cell cannot be purple and cannot be red, so it must be green. Now, can we keep this going? Yes, we can. This one sees green and red, so it's purple. This one sees red and green by knight's move, so it's purple. This is lovely. This is just lovely. This one sees green and purple, so it's red. That makes that one green. I want to keep this going. I just do. Right, that's red. Look, it sees green by knight's move and purple. This one must be purple. It sees green and red. This one now sees purple and red, so it's green. This one sees red and purple. Oh, it's just a stunning idea, this. It really is. This one sees purple and green. It must be red. That means that one's purple. And we can actually colour the whole of the diagonals. That is gorgeous. Now, can we now do some Sudoku? Can we do Sudoku? That's the question. So, what I'm looking at, for example, is red. Where does red go in box 2? Well, it has to, by Sudoku, it's got to be in one of these squares. Oh, that's gorgeous. This can't be red. If this is red, what do we put in as a lower digit on the thermometer? Well, we know because red is 1, 2 and 3, a lower cell would have to be a 1, 2 or 3, but it couldn't be red because the thermometer must decrease as we move down. But it can't also be purple or green. So this is not red. This is red. So red's in one of those cells. I'm sure there's going to be loads of little things like this that we can do with this. I just have to spot the trick. Where is the easy win here? I mean, it's possible I won't be able to continue this. I sort of hope I can, though, I have to say. Purple in this box is a bit restricted. Actually red in this box is a bit restricted as well. No, I was about to say this can't be red, but that's nonsense. Oh no, it can't be red because of Knight's Move. I was about to say it can't be red because I was thinking for some reason I'd inverted the thermometer and I was like, no, it sees a green and a purple, but it can't actually be red because this red sees that square. So that means the red is here, and red is along a thermometer. So now this square, this is beautiful. So this square has to be lower than red, which means it must be a 1, 2 or 3, but it can't be green, so it is purple. And now this square is red by Sudoku. This square is purple by Sudoku. Purple. Oh, I'm sure that keep going. Red. That's this one in the corner is red. No one puts red in the corner except me. Now. Okay. So now we know purple can't be 3, I suppose. So I can double click all the purples and get rid of. I'm just going to delete them and put 1 and 2 in because we know that red is definitely higher. So if purple was 3, red would have to be higher than 3, and it can't be. So the corollary of that is that red is not 1. So we can delete these and put 2s and 3s in. Oh, sorry. I could have done this a little while ago, I think. Let's come back and look at the 14 diagonal again. These 3 cells are the same. So could these cells ever have been 3? And the answer is no, because then I'd have to make these cells, which are going to be 2 1s and 2 2s in some order, equal 5. Well, 2 1s and 2 2s always equal 6. So these squares just cannot be 3. They now cannot be 1, so these are 2. So red is 2. And beautiful. And we know purple cannot be 3, so purple is 1. So all the purples are 1, all the reds are 2, and all the greens are 3. Ta-da! Let's check this diagonal works. I think the logic felt good, didn't it? So yeah, we've got, you can see very clearly there's an average of 2 down the diagonal, and there are 8 cells, so that's definitely going to add to 16, even if we do it in a strange way. Now 3 must be down there, 1 must be in one of those 2 squares, 1's in one of these 2 squares, 3's up here. Okay, alright, I'm not exactly sure where we go from here. I've not really used the thermometers yet, so maybe I can... Right, actually, let's come back... Yes, let's come back to the start. This cell mapped onto this domino, didn't it? Well, this square now cannot be that one. In fact, I probably ought to get rid of the colouring in the grid, I think, because I don't think we need it anymore. Let's just get rid of the colouring and think again, because this cell, let's make that square purple. This square can't be those squares by Sudoku. It can't be on the, it can't be, it must be lower than whatever on the thermometer, so these cannot be the same as purple. This sees this square by Knight's Move. It sees this square by Knight's Move. We know it's not 3 because 3 is already here. So this square is purple. And then, oh, this is lovely. And now look, purple, purple. These 2 squares, therefore, have to be purple because purple is not 1. And this is a Knight's Move away from the purple. So that's purple. Now the thermometers are going to work, aren't they? Oh, this puzzle is superb. This is absolutely superb, because now the highest value you can put in this cell here is 7, because if you put 8 in, you've got to go 9, 10. So this cannot be higher than 7. But here, there need to be 2 cells lower than whatever I put in here. So I can't put 5 into this square. because then I go 4, and then this square would have to be 1, 2, or 3, which it can't be. So this square, so basically these squares are 6 or 7. I thought we might actually get one, but we don't quite. 6, 7. Right, I see. So now we look at box 6 and we ask the question, where does 8 and 9 go? 8 and 9 cannot go here because this needs 2 cells higher. 8 and 9 can't be lower, well, it can't be lower down a thermometer because which has a 6 and a 7 at the end. So 8 and 9 are a pair there. And okay, is that enough to crack the puzzle? So these squares have to be 4, 5, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6 or 7. Oh no, this is, I see. This cell again, this puzzle is just, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it? A joy forever, really is, because look, this cell, let's colour that one in green. Where does it go in the central box of the grid? It can't go here. It can't go here or here because it would be, it's definitely not 3 or purple. Now, whatever it is, it can't go there. It can't go here because it's not 2. So whatever it is on the thermometer and higher than a 6 or a 7. So this has to be higher, so it has to be 7. It can't be 6 because it needs to be higher than 6 to be on this thermometer. So it's definitely 7. It can't be 8 and 9 because of the 8 and 9 in the box. So this, sorry, that all gets sorted out. Purple is definitely 6. As this 7 is on the thermometer, it can't be here because it must be immediately adjacent to the 6. This 6 fixes the 5 and the 4. This 7 fixes the 8 and the 9 on this thermometer. The 9, well, what's this square then? This square has to be higher than 7 and it can't be 9. That's 8. 9 now must be in one of those 2 squares in box 5 because it can't be here anymore. That sees this square. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This 9 sees this square by Knight's move. By Sudoku, where does 9 go in box 4? It's in one of these 3 squares, but this square sees that one by Knight's move. So there's now a 1-9 pair in the row, which means we know that this is a 7. We know, presumably we can get these, can't we? These are 4 and 5. Now this is where I'm going to miss Knight's move constraints, aren't I? I can't see how to do that. Bobbins. These are 4, 5 and 8. So 8's definitely in this domino. Okay, so we might, it's interesting, I think this is now a Knight's move Sudoku, isn't it? Because we've used the thermometer, we've used the little killers. So from here on out, it's just going to be standard anti-Knight Sudoku. And we're going to have to think about where to look. 9 has to be in one of those squares. 8 has to be in one of these squares. Remember, the Knight's move is ruled out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Ooh, that sees the only sees the 9. 4, 5, or 8 into this square. I think I will pencil mark that in. That one's 4, 5, or 9. This one's restricted. Oh, this one's lovely. This one's lovely. It's this square, which has to be 4, 5, 8, or 9, because that's what we need to complete the column. It can't be 8 by Knight's move, it can't be 9 by Knight's move, and it can't be 4 by Knight's move. So it is 5. We get rid of 5s up here. 5's in one of 3 places in box 3. This square is 4, 8 or 9, which I'm sure we can do in some way, but I can't immediately see how to do it. So let's keep going down the columns. We've got 4, 6, 7, 8 into this one. So this square can't be 7 because of the knight's move. That square can't be 8 or 6 because of the knight's move. 4, 6, 7, 8. That one can't be 4. And that one can be anything. Let's look at row 3. We've got 5 digits in that one. 4, 5, 6 and 7. That's no good. That one is good. That's 4 or 5. Ah, now that's immediately interesting. That sees that square. Oh, in fact, a better way of thinking about it is whatever goes in that square, where does it go in this box? It can't go here because it's a knight's move away from this. It can't go there, it's a knight's move away. So this square and this square are the same, and that places the 8, because this square, if these squares are mirrors and this is a 4 or a 5, we certainly can't put an 8 into that square. So this square becomes an 8. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. I'll just turn that off. I forgot to silence it as well, which I would also do. It's a former work colleague about whom I could start a whole YouTube channel with the stories, but I'm not going to do that. 8 now. Oh, lovely. Yeah, okay. Yeah, lovely. Where does 8 go in row 7? This 8 is all powerful. It rules out those 3 cells. That can't be an 8, there's an 8 in the column. That can't be an 8, there's an 8 in the column. So 8 gets placed. 8's now definitely in one of 2 places in row 8. That rules 8 out of these 2 places, look. And that gives us a 4-9 pair in the column, which gives us another 8. Gives us an 8 down here. 4 now. Where does 4 go in this box? 4's ruled out of all of those squares. These 2 naturally, this by the knight's move, which you can see we've already seemed to have picked that up with a pencil mark. So 4 goes here. That places the 9. We can... can't see how to do the 4's there. There's probably a way. 4's in this one. Still can't see how to do that. 9 then. 9's definitely in one of these 2 cells, look. And that's aligning the 9's. That's aligning the 9's in column 1 and column 2. So the question we ask now is, where does the 9 go in column 3? You can see it can't go in those cells or these cells. So it's in one of those 3 squares. Now, is there a way of telling which way round that goes? Oh, I've spotted something else lovely here. This is just a brilliant puzzle. It really is. Because 9 now in this box is in one of those 2 positions. Now that's aligning the 9's in row 7 and row 9. So we now know we've got to ask, where does the 9 go in row 8? It can't be here, it can't be here. So it must be there. And you can see the moment we place this, we get the 3 and the 8 as well, which places an 8 at the top of the grid. The 9 sees this square by knight's move. Gliperal, when you came up with this, you must have been over the moon. This is stunning. This is absolutely stunning. Wow. Okay, so the 3 here, what's this doing for us? Is it doing anything? Yes, it's doing something very nice. This square's a knight's move away, so it must be there. Now 3 is definitely in one of those 2 cells. This square, this square, look at the column, 4 or 5 missing, there's a 5 here. So we need a 4 there, that's a 5, that's a 5, that's a 4, that's a 4, that's a 5. Now that might be useful. 5 is now being pushed down into row 9 in box 8, which places the 5 in box 7. We need 4, 6 and 7. Well, we can place the 4 actually. Let's do that first. This is a 6-7 pair, and there's probably a 6 or a 7 staring at this. Apologies if so. I can't see it immediately. This is a 6-7 pair as well. Okay, looks like 6 7s are going to be the recalcitrant digits today. Now 9, 6 and 7. This square, is that restricted? I can see it can't be 6. I don't think it's being seen by a 9 or a 7, but I could be wrong. And this square sees the 9, so that's a 6 or a 7. So the 9 in fact is nice there, isn't it? It's just locking the 9 in there, which locks the 9 in here. This square is a 6 or a 7. The 6 sees it, so we get the 7, we get the 6, we get the 7, we get the 7, we get the 6. These squares at the bottom are 4, 5 and 6 in some order. 5 here sees that one, so this is now a 4-6 pair. We can do the 6 and the 4, and I think we've cracked it. I'm probably speaking too soon, but it does feel like it's going with some sort of alacrity now. 7 in box 3 is here. This square's a 4 by Sudoku. One of those two squares is a 4, so it's this one. This box still needs 3, 5 and 6. The 5 must go there, the 6 must go there, the 3 must go here. Place the 3 here. Hopefully the 5 will fit there, hopefully the 6 will fit there. And we click check, and that is such a beautiful Sudoku puzzle. Wow, I loved that, Gliperal. That is just a work of art. Let me know in the comments whether you enjoyed that as much as I did, because that was stunning. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.